I'm going to give you 5 core reasons why I believe men over 40 will fail in business and relationships. It's pretty straightforward, and unfortunately I see it time and time again in the people that I counsel and mentor. The number one reason, I think, is because they stop evolving. And I went through this myself, and what I mean by that is that essentially they've hit this plateau in their life and they've just accepted the status quo of things, and they are not, they're no longer working on themselves personally, physically, emotionally, mentally. They just decided that they've done their thing, they're in their job, whatever they're doing, they've reached their pinnacle of life, so to speak, and accepted the status quo. So clearly, if you take that approach, you're not going to evolve, and you're just going to, be static. So I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons why men have a tendency to fail from evolving. Second reason, I believe, is that, and this I see all the time, is that their identity is built on their past. And what I mean by that, think of your buddies who are like challenged in the mind frame of high school, and they're stuck in high school in their glory days. Well, I see it in the gym too with guys when they approach working out. They work out like they're in high school or in college, and their bodies are not ready for that, and clearly they haven't taken care of their bodies, and it's a direct reflection on what they look like and how they act. So I think that in many respects, with regard to business and in life in general, these guys are trapped in their own mind. They think they're legends in their own mind, and they failed to recognize that, you're no longer in high school, you're no longer in college. It's time to move on and move forward. Third reason I believe that men in their 40s tend to fail is that they are basically emotionally flatlined. And what do I mean by emotionally flatlined? Well, men in general have a tendency to hold things in. And if they are in a relationship in which they cannot be vulnerable and can't open up, or as the years have progressed, basically accepted this cultural aspect of life in that the issues that they deal with, the challenges that they face, they don't have any support system in place, so they shut down. They're not going to be in a position in which they could solicit feedback or maybe some guidance with regard to the decisions that they have to make and where they are in life. So they shut down emotionally. And by shutting down emotionally, again, it goes back to that domino effect of being static and not being able to evolve. So if they've shut down emotionally, haven't really created a sphere of people around them to help support them to grow, to help them get out of their own way, they're going to be stunted. That's a huge reason why I believe that men over 40 have a tendency to fail in both relationships and in business. All right. Another reason men have a tendency to fail in relationships and business is because they fail to delegate. These are the control freaks. I've been through it myself. You get to a place where you think that you have to control everything in order for it to be done successfully or done the right way. And that's an absolute fallacy. What you need to do is surround yourself with subject matter experts or people who are smarter than you to get the job done. And when you think about scaling businesses and you think about your ability to really be able to grow passive income and do things like that, you can't be everything to everyone. In order for you to be successful and grow, you need to be able to delegate and put people in the right positions in order to succeed and build your vision. That's a complete disconnect with regard to so many entrepreneurs and men in general, where they have a tendency to think that their way is the highway, they have to do it on their own or it's not going to get done correctly. And that becomes a defeating trait, because in the long run, you're not going to be able to scale, you're not going to be able to grow, because there's only so many hours in the day. Fifth and final reason why I believe men fail at 40, especially in regard to relationships and business, it's because they don't safeguard their energy. And this is a big thing. We talk about it on the platform. We talk about it at the collective a lot. It's this issue of good sleep, this issue of quantifying your time on your calendar. It's about making good choices with regard to diet, making good choices with regard to your alcohol consumption, all things along those lines. It's your capacity to manage your energy levels. And if your energy levels are depleting, you're not going to be successful in business. You're not going to be successful in relationships. These 5 core items that I talk about are crucial to one's success. They are a call to action. And I'm telling you guys, if this is the stuff that you want to really dive into deep, work on, you need to be part of the collective. These are the things that we're focusing on. These are the things that we want to get through to you on a daily basis to help you become the best holistic version of yourself. So in summary, these 5 core items you need to focus on, and by focusing on them, I believe you'll have greater success as a 40-year-old individual as it relates to both business and in relationships. If you guys like this type of stuff, if you like what I'm talking about, if you want to get more engaged with like-minded individuals, people who are there to help support you and grow, you need to join the collective. You need to be part of something bigger than yourself. This movement that I've put together, where we focus on the pillars of health, fitness, mindset, personal development, relationships, for business growth and overall holistic success, is all what we do in the collective. So you got to be part of it. Like, subscribe, follow me on YouTube. I'm all over social media. I am passionate about this project. This is something that I'm focusing on all the time now. I've gone through it myself. I've got myself out of my way. I've been able to sustain long-term health. I lost 50 plus pounds. I'm focused. I've got clarity. I've got energy as a 60-year-old individual. I am so interested in engaging other people to get you guys across the finish line so you can really embrace holistic success.